Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Lydia and I am also known as Smiley Stomach on Instagram. I am a future registered dietitian and I am in my dietetic internship right now. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about my community rotation of my dietetic internship, which just happened to be the first rotation of 3, and it was a 3-week long rotation, so it's already come and gone. First, I just wanted to give a brief summary about what a dietetic internship really is. So in my program at Purdue University, I am studying nutrition and dietetics. However, it is required that a registered dietitian has at least 1,200 hours of supervised practice before they're able to sit for the registration exam to then become a registered dietitian. Purdue's program combines both undergrad coursework and the supervised practice rotations in a program called the Coordinated Program in Dietetics, and that is what I'm in. So I applied to be in the Coordinated Program in Dietetics during my senior year. The fall semester I applied, interviewed, got accepted, and then I technically switched majors from dietetics to coordinated dietetics. I'm in my 5th year, registered as a Purdue student, but technically I'm not at Purdue University. I am doing my rotations in the Indianapolis area, which has been super convenient because that means I get to live at home rent-free. So my first rotation was with the American Dairy Association of Indiana. This organization is a nonprofit fully funded by dairy farming families in Indiana, and they are very focused on communicating nutrition information, especially about dairy products. So the Dairy Association in Indiana has 9 full-time employees, and 3 of those happen to be registered dietitians. Their CEO is a registered dietitian. Both of my preceptors were registered dietitians, and they both had different histories and different jobs within the organization, which was really cool to get a mixture of both of those backgrounds. My program started out with a dairy farm tour in a local Indiana farm. We got to see quite a bit and learn about some of the misinformation that is spread in the media about the dairy industry. One common misconception about dairy was that some milk has antibiotics in it, and I learned that if any milk from a dairy farm has antibiotics in it, it automatically has to be taken out of the food system. That farm that contributed the antibiotic milk has to pay a fine, basically has to pay to replace that entire batch of milk. Because it cannot be used, it has to be thrown away. So that incentivizes farmers to make sure that none of their cows that are on antibiotics due to illness, that none of their milk ends up in the batches that are processed and put into grocery stores. Another really cool fun fact is that the methane gas let off from cows is oftentimes captured in an anaerobic digester, which can actually turn methane gas into power for entire communities. Another example of that at the dairy farm that I got to visit was they can reuse a lot of their water up to 5 different times in different processes in the farm. There is definitely a push to make sure that farmers are living up to the increased demand for more sustainability, and I think that that's definitely driven a lot of them to make changes, but I think at the same time that they've been kind of trying to do that consistently. Farmers are also very knowledgeable about what their animals need, and they know that if they don't treat their cows well and keep them comfortable and feed them well and give them nutritious foods, they just simply won't produce the milk that they want. So they have to maintain a good care process for their cows and make sure that they are pampered. An example of that is a lot of the cows are able to relax on water beds in a shelter, alleviate stress on their joints due to them being so heavy, and especially if they have milk, they're even heavier. So those water beds are there to basically promote like a zero gravity effect for the cows and just give them a chance to kind of take a load off. Another thing that they do to take care of their cows is they always have fans, and some even have shades that you can move depending on where the sun is, to make sure that the cows not only have the fresh air coming in but also shade to keep the sun off of them. Some things that I got to do while I was at the American Dairy Association: I actually worked from home, which was really nice. It was a good transition into working full-time, just being at home, because yes, this dietetic internship is basically a full-time job. I am practicing as a dietitian, however, I'm not getting paid. So it was a nice transition into working full-time. I didn't have to drive. I completed a few different projects throughout the 3 weeks at American Dairy Association. So some of the projects that I was able to participate in included a food pantry packet, which was basically a comprehensive packet of resources, including recipes, dairy nutrition information, dairy food safety, family activities, and this ended up being around 120 pages, and it would have been more if each recipe had had their own pages, so we even doubled up on some of those. These recipes were for all different skill levels, different seasons, and then we kind of focused on dairy foods that have kind of a longer shelf life, as well as being more nutrient dense. So these would include cheese, yogurt, and milk. It was really cool to put that all together and really make a huge dent in that project, and that will then be distributed as either a digital download ebook for pantry clients, or will be printed off for pantry clients to take from their food pantry. Other than that, I was able to do a food demo, which I have shared on my Instagram, and it's also on the American Dairy Association's YouTube page, and I made a recipe called cheesy apple croissants, which was actually really yummy. It was simple, and it was supposed to be something that you could make if you were in college or high school, so it was supposed to be easy and just not too involved, but also incorporate some kind of seasonal produce and a dairy product. So those were really great. Another thing that I got to do was write a blog post, and I also made a charcuterie board handout with the other intern. I also got to work on some Indiana Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics handouts. I got a great variety of different experiences, and I was able to kind of use some of my previous experiences working in community nutrition in both the demo kitchen at Purdue and the Gleaners Food Bank summer nutrition intern position that I had the past 2 summers. So a lot of what I did at American Dairy Association was an extension of the work that I've done in my previous positions. So that was really enjoyable for me because I felt like I had kind of a leg up in completing those projects effectively. I was asked to give some advice for future interns or people who are just starting to enter into their rotations. I would just say, even if you feel like you aren't interested in that area of dietetics, keep an open mind, because you have the potential to learn so much from your preceptors and even the people associated with your preceptors, whether they're dietitians or not. This is a really great opportunity to get hands-on experience in kind of a low pressure situation. Keep an open mind, try to get creative and have fun with it. In my experience, I have told people I'm most excited about my community rotation, and I have already done that. So at this point, out of the rest of what I have to do before I am able to take my RD exam, I think I would say that I'm the most excited for my clinical rotation. I'm currently in my food service rotation, and I've had lots of food service experience before. There are some things that are done differently at my facility that are different than what I've done in previous positions in other facilities. For the most part, they're very similar, and it's just kind of a review. I'm getting ready to start some of my projects, but I haven't been able to start yet. Next semester, I will be working with the dietitians, and that will be something that I haven't done as much before. So that's why I'm the most excited for it. I haven't had a job working in clinical nutrition, and I just think it'll be a really good challenge. I'm keeping an open mind, and I am ready to keep on moving.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions about my rotation or Anything else, feel free to leave them in the comments and I will respond as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Bye.